Can you hear me now over my live event? Am I loud? Oh, well, we can't have that. We're trying. Oh shit, what do I even do with this? Man, okay, I'm trying to think if that microphone would do, you can still hear me on my live event, right? Oh jeez. I wonder, oh jeez. I wonder if any of these buttons would help. Crowd cam. Ooh, something happened there. Can you hear me any different there? Okay. Holy moly. We are very, very slow. Okay. I wonder if the frequency things have anything to do with that. Well, let's try this little button. Let's see, how does that sound? Okay. Ooh, okay, so we'll turn that down then. Okay. That's the crowd cam. Okay, so the crowd camera must be picking up something, so let's turn that back down. Wonder, what about this one? There's a desktop audio. Anything good there, Abs? Oh, okay, man, this is lagging.
Oh, you got better for a little bit, the desktop audio on.
Okay, so we're gonna keep that super high then. I wonder if the main cam would help at all. Here, let's turn that all the way up and let me know how I sound right now. Okay. Different in a good way or in a bad way? Okay, sounds good. Okay, we'll turn that down a little bit then. Okay. All right, so main cam, go down. Okay, that right there.
Still getting some type of TV static is all I hear in the background.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's kind of what Sarah and I heard that night that you were on. You know what, we're gonna start. Here. Do this.
Hold on, I don't have any. Oh, no, it came back.
Came back? Okay. Perfect. Oh, let's
Do you
see.
think any of, like, the mice... Oh. Oh, so it goes crystal clear for, like, seconds, and then it goes right back to fuzzy.
Dang it. Okay. I wonder if any of these things would have anything to do with... Okay, what do you do? I'm not going to mute that. I'm just going to turn all these on. Okay, so we're gonna I wonder what this does. Does that do anything? Here, how about we just turn these all the way up? Oh, it's just those three. Oh, those three. Okay, help me out with this. Oh, well, I should have read the red lights before I pushed things, but well, shoot, do you need to take that phone call? Okay, I'll hang up on ya.
It'll get directed, so Sarah will take it.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Sarah. Oh, man. Did you hear anything different when I pushed those knobs up?
So, it was clear, but then once you start talking, it gets really fuzzy.
Okay.
The tick is still there. I don't know how to fix the tick.
Yeah, I kind of thought maybe it would have been like a fan, but there's no fans over here. What's that thing do? There's a little light that is picking up what I'm saying, kind of. Oh, I'll keep you there. Can you hear me now? Nope, we'll keep it all the way on. Good job. That one doesn't do anything. Do I sound any different over there yet?
I don't, we're still back to when I said picking.
Okay. Oh, man. Okay, so frequency. I wonder if these frequency things have to do with it. Okay, let me, here. What's Jim's look like? Jim's is on frequency 523.70. Is that what they're all supposed to be on, I wonder?
I don't know.
I don't know either, because like, looking at these different frequency things, I wonder if that isn't what it is. Let me see if maybe, okay, 5237. Okay, let's go down and see what others are. Okay, so the one right here by my chair, 557.70, and that's on channel 6. So, okay, so, let's just play for shits and giggles, why not? I don't know what I'm doing. Why can't you just change? Be the frequency that I need you, maybe they're supposed to be different frequencies. I mean, yeah, because they are all absolutely different. There's not a single one that's the same.
on, Bill. All right. Thank you. Have a good day.
I wonder if these new microphones wouldn't make any other difference. You think I should try those real quick? Okay, all right, I'm gonna turn off all of these other ones, and we'll try that. Turn off, damn it. Okay, good job. So there, this one's on.
Trying to figure out the fuzz. Oh, so on another topic, Casey, the airport one didn't work again. Do you want me just to do the AP without it, or put it in a different?
Why is it not working? I'll come over and put it in on your computer. It should work. We'll get it figured out. I'll pop over there here real quick. But I just turned on the other microphone. Can you hear me at all on that one?
Yeah, I hear my whole conversation that I just asked you.
Shut up! Okay.
You sound really good.
Okay, sweet. So maybe we'll just rock and roll with this then. If you can hear it over the, if you can hear it over the.
Yeah, you can hear it over the fuzz.
Awesome. Okay. Hey, I'm gonna plug in the other one quick.
No ticking.
There's no ticking?
No.
Awesome.
Ticking. Just the fuzz of the microphone being on.
Okay, awesome. Here, let's do this. Yeah, that's what I want. Okay.
And I don't have my volume up super loud. I only have it up not even halfway on my phone.
Awesome.
Listen to you on my earbud.
Can you hear me from way over here?
Hold on, maybe.
Okay.
I can hear you from way over there.
Awesome. Okay. Frick yes. All right. I'm gonna put the other one together quick.
Do you have your mouse over there, or is that still over here?
I'm back over by the phone right now. Oops, come here. Here.
Your wireless mouse, do you have that with you over there, or is that at the office still?
I think that's at the office.
Okay, so I was wondering if those were the reason they kept squeaking.
Yeah. That's a good question.
Frequencies of the wireless mouse.
That's a good point. Okay. I just turned on the other microphone. Let me know if you can hear me from this one.
Yep, I hear you from that mic too.
Awesome. Okay, sweet. All right, I'm going to plug this other one in. This should work just fine. We'll just roll with this tonight. This will be great. So,
Okay.
awesome. Thanks, Detective Abby.
Yeah, hopefully. Doing it tonight, that's going to be awful.
Yeah, right. That would be my luck. Oh, man.
Right, let's hope not. Cross our fingers.
Yeah, me too. Okay, perfect. Well, I'm going to plug this in, shut this down, and I'll see you over there in just a minute, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Turn this guy off.
Go ahead and call the meeting to order. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Jason, ready? Jason, the second will be organized. We have the minutes from the last meeting. Has everybody had a chance to look at them? Looks like the wrong ones might have been.
On the agenda. I think they were right on mine.
Yeah. Just give those back to Mark.
Oh, there was a Senate meeting minutes that somebody wanted on there.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yep.
That's what it is.
Yep, I didn't put the meeting minutes in that packet, I just put them on mine.
Any discussion on the minutes from the last meeting?
No objections, I'll make a motion to accept.
Is there a second? Do I have a second?
Second.
Moved by Dave, seconded by Paul. Is there any other discussion? Seeing none, proceed to vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same side. Motion carries. Next item is presentation of the bills. Is there any questions on the bill?
The question I had was the Trail County Treasurer for 24,630.
So that was a request from Trail County, since it was leaned against them to make sure the lien comes off. That was the payment that Bill had made. So it'll go to the county. They'll turn around and write us a check back for our taxes. So it's just showing that those, half of those taxes were paid.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve the bills.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Moved by Nicole, seconded by Jason. Is there any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next item is Commissioners' reports. We'll start with Jason tonight. Do you have anything?
I do not.
Nicole?
The only thing I have is regarding the lead and copper replacement. I just had a few questions on that from others, and some of them said, well, I already replaced all the copper to the PEX. This is, if you go into the survey, it'll show you the actual water meter. It's the tube that goes, it connects to the water meter. So that's what we need to look at for in these homes. If you log into the survey, enter in your account information, it'll show you the picture and it'll tell you exactly where. There's an arrow that tells you this is the piece to look at. So just in case anyone outside, you know, the others that have already asked, it'll show you that in there. But other than that, that's the only questions I've had, and that's all I have to report.
The one I had on there was if businesses are included, and I assume the answer is it's everybody, correct?
Yes, businesses have received them if the building is prior to 1980. Yeah.
Okay. Dave?
The only thing I have is the city guys are out trying to patch holes in between snowstorms, so see if they can get anything accomplished. That's all I have.
Okay. Paul?
Nothing for me.
For me, I think Paul filled in most of the stuff that we talked about in beautification and planning and zoning. They're still working on a few things. Should have more for you at the next meeting, because they wanted to go back and revisit on those, on the storage containers. They wanted to make sure they had the correct answer for you and how to make it work, so. And I know JR was working on a few things for them as well. JR, do you have anything for tonight?
Nothing for me.
Casey?
Not a lot from me. The only thing that I was hoping to show you guys was inventory, but it's not wanting to load, so, inventory should be done by the end of the month, so. Yeah.
All right.
That's all I have.
Thank you. Jason, anything from chairs?
No, sir.
All right, nothing from, the only thing that I had seen from Steve that he just mentioned is that we have a meeting on Thursday to talk about the bridge.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
It's an online.
Yep, just to see the progress from JLK on that.
Can we get a link sent to Paul and to everybody? Because I think they only sent it to you and me if they wanted to join in on the conversation.
If we did that, then it would be a public meeting.
Oh, yeah, just everything on that. So, guess you guys can't do it. We'll let you know. We'll let you know.
Not hard.
Okay.
I think I got enough to watch.
The beautification, I know that some of those are, the charges are coming up to court, so we'll keep you updated on those as we get closer. So we'll go into old business. We have 2 bids for the mowing contracts. First one is from Manthes, and $25,500 per year. Second bid is from Mows, and their bid is from Simon and Olivia Lupro, and their bid is for $12,000 per year, and they also requested to ask the commissioner's assistance enforcing the guidelines in the cemetery's rule book, such as flowers, etc., as they don't get removed after Memorial Day, and make trimming and mowing extra difficult. These flowers and decorations are very hard to mow around, especially as the year goes on and they start to fall apart. Thank you for your consideration.
We do have policies in place for the flowers.
I believe so. I haven't seen them, but I believe there is policies. Do we have a motion to accept or reject any of the bids?
I make a motion, we accept the motion from Malls for $12,000 and work with them on the flowers and
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Moved by Dave, seconded by Paul to accept the bid for $12,000 from Mao's. Is there any other discussion? Nicole?
Yes.
Jason?
yes.
Paul?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
And a yes for me. Motion carried. Next item is the garbage RFP. Has everybody had a final look at that, and if you're okay with it?
I'm okay with it.
Do we have a motion then to approve and move it forward?
I'll make the motion.
Should ask a clarifying question. Did we have a date set on there? That's
July
your question.
1st.
Is it still July 1st? Okay.
No later than 4:30 on Monday, July 1st.
I just couldn't remember if we had it earlier. So Dave made the motion. Is there a second? I'll second. Seconded by Jason. Any other discussion? Paul?
Yes.
Nicole?
Yes.
Jason? Yes. Dave?
Yes.
Any yes for me? Motion carries. Next item, Paul had talked about a $2 charge for streetlights added on. You want to talk a little bit more about
Yeah,
that?
no, this was brought up to me of a way other city used to replace streetlights. They set up an account for that. The last couple meetings, we talked about it. I asked the commissioners to talk to people or get their input on it. Anybody talk to anybody? They got yes, no, or indifferent?
Do we know what the cost or what revenue we generate from it?
Yeah, she has in here. I don't remember off the top of my head.
It'd be just under 21,000. If you did, 870 bills went out this last month, $2 a bill, times 12 months is just under 21,000. If bills stay at 870. Right, Sarah? Yep. Sarah was my number person for that one.
So Paul, is it just the electrical, the wiring in the streetlights? It's not we don't need to replace the uprights and everything.
It's just the electrical, and then that they need painting or replacing, depending upon how bad they are. So this would be mainly to set up a fund that we could basically earmark, that's what it's for streetlight replacement or repairs. We have a lot of issues with wiring, and there's probably, 5 to 10 streetlights that didn't, not streetlights, but Christmas decorations that they can't even, they can plug them in, but there's no power there, so it'd be a matter of, getting power to them. So they all work. Some of them, Jim says, they're showing their years, just like everything, so.
We've changed
The heads.
a lot of them to LEDs.
Yep.
Do we have any idea of, what was it, 1,000 or something, to paint, repaint? Is that?
Yeah, I think it's been a couple of years since I've asked on that. I think it was around $800 for one. But I don't quote me on that. I have to go back and look. Well, he comes with, so they gotta have traffic control, obviously. They gotta completely wrap where they're working and they sandbag. So the way he was explaining to me, it was quite involved, so it's, if people wanna do it, it's a way to start that. We can always take it out of another fund, electrical, but we're gonna have a lot of stuff there too, so it just depends on how you wanna do it. It's just suggested, ways another town does it, so.
Thoughts from everybody?
I thought I kind of liked the idea, but I didn't think if we could do it for a year or two or something, and then seem like we get caught up on this, and then we could kind of drop it,
And I can
Maybe
get
that's,
more,
maybe that sounds kind of,
and I can get more an updated, on far as the price to get them painted and things like that. I can sure get more prices on it if you want, that's not a problem.
One, should we take an inventory of what we need to do to
Yep.
start with?
Mhm.
Would that be a starting point to, what needs to be replaced, what needs to be repainted, which ones need to be repaired? Because some of them are steel poles, some of them are,
uptown is mostly steel poles, I think.
I'm not sure. Okay.
okay, start with that. Next item then is adding a public works labor to the city. You guys had kind of talked about that, correct? So there is one that was forwarded on, and I know we had a couple employees talking about it, that they know that was looking, and he had submitted his application before we had even opened it up to get any of those things. So, I don't know if that's something you guys wanted to look into, if you want to open up the position. I assume this would be for looking at John's replacement eventually down the road.
Well, we should get somebody in there fairly quick. My feelings are, I think if we got somebody that's can do the job, and we should look at it.
I believe the person that had submitted had wastewater and water treatment. Wastewater, if I remember right. I want to say water treatment as well.
I think so.
So they have some prior experience as
Yes.
well.
And had some construction work with Breidenbach at one time, so. If you guys feel that you want to move forward, if you want to open it up, or if you want to go out for that application, it's totally up to you guys. But we can start that process then. Let's see if Jim is willing to introduce him interviewing, and then also anyone else down at Public Works to help out with that. But it would be good if we have an applicant. As you know, we still have not received applicants on the other positions.
If we've got a party that's got water treatment experience and equipment operator, the rest of it he can, he's never plowed snow, he can learn.
I believe he's working for another city, so I would assume there's some experience there.
Just trying to find people now is,
Can we have Jim have time to interview him and get some feedback and make a recommendation?
I can, but I just want to make sure that you guys want to move forward with something. If you want to have him look at that one, or if you want him to open it up as well, I just need to know what direction you guys want to go.
I'm okay with Jim interviewing.
yeah, I'm okay with that. I think we need to get somebody in there. We got somebody with experience, let's work with him and see how he does.
Do we have a motion then to,
I'll make the motion.
you have a second?
I was second.
Moved by Dave, seconded by Nicole to interview the applicant that we have for the Public Works, for Public Works. Is there any other discussion on it? Is there a question, or you just? I wasn't sure. Any other discussion? Paul?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Nicole?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
And a yes for me. Motion carries. All right, well, that kind of falls into the next few things. Recruiter info, you guys had gotten that I had received. And these were all people that reached out to me, there was none that I looked out to. The cyber coder one was one from before, that they had sent us an application when we did the auditor's position. And the other one reached out through word of mouth that heard that we had an opening from Halstead's. The one from Halstead, the way it looked is that we would have to have a fee up front, and then it's, both of them are about 25% of the salary, the first year's salary.
So there's two of them that reached out,
Two of them that reached out, yeah.
and each one's 25%.
Cyber coders was different, that only if we hired the person that they gave us.
Okay. And the other one was
The other one-
25% up front?
There was a certain fee up front. I don't know if you guys want to hold off since we just got onto the
ZipRecruiter.
ZipRecruiter. And the other ones, we can reach out to other individuals that are on. We just gotta do that. So you guys want to hold off on Recruiter at this time?
Yep.
I do.
Okay. All right. Referral program for finding employees.
Yeah, I visited a little bit with Casey about this, you know. When I was in the military, they had, you could do referrals, you know, for new members. I thought, well, would that be something that we could put out to the citizens of Hillsboro and give a referral, you know, get referrals? And, you know, we're talking about looking at 25% of the first year salary. You know, is there a way you could do some type of referral where you'd have, you know, do similar to what other businesses do? Would that be something that wouldn't cost us anything until we hired somebody? We're spending a lot of money on other areas to help get people. Would that be something that maybe would be a benefit? You know, we have, if everybody in the community knows it, we have hundreds of people looking, not just a few. You know? So if we got, you know, if somebody has a friend or a neighbor or a family member or something that they may know, maybe that might be enough to get them to call in and question about it. Exactly what that dollar amount would be, I have no idea. You know, I'd probably suggest at least $1,000, you know, so.
JR, are we able to do that? That's my first question.
I would say yes. I mean, in the sense of I don't know why not. It's just like any recruiter for these, they'd have to be tax work, just the same as paying for these recruiters, but yes.
And then, are we gonna exclude any individuals? For example, I would question that we wouldn't want to include commissioners on it.
Well, you know.
And would you include city staff or non-city staff?
I think that on that sample that we got, there was some of that listed there.
You know, I've had past employers that have actually given it to employees to recruit to their company, so
I don't think it's a bad idea, it's just making sure that we set it up right. If it's a city resident, could you do it through their bill credit? Or they get more out that way than if it was a non-resident?
We could look at the verbiage of it, I guess, and kind of come up with something else. somebody. Got a little more legal expertise than me, so.
Well, what kind of parameters would you guys
Yeah.
like? Because I think we need some, so not commissioners. Does the referral come in on the application?
I think you would list who was referred, yeah.
Mhm.
So that's how whoever's listed on the referral.
Okay.
Can there be more than one and we have to split it?
I would think just the one that they list on the application.
If they listed two, are you gonna?
Tell them they can list one.
Take care of
List
everything.
one.
They can split it amongst themselves.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
Yep, yep. And I think they pay out at different stages too, right, on?
That's on the same boards.
Yeah. So,
3 months, 6 months, and 1 year.
So would you,
So it wasn't.
how much, and when?
That's their,
Well, I meant,
Available
just because you
payroll.
get, that's what they have, but is that what you
6 months
guys,
and 1 year.
do you want, because Paul said start at 1,000, so.
yeah, it's just a number I threw out. If you know, is it enough to move the meter? I don't know. If it's enough to move the meter or not. So,
I suppose it'd be either credit or if it's paid out, it'd be full amount.
I just thought if it was a bill credit, it'd be less tax forms to fill out.
Getting that brain there, it's taxation part.
So would it be just Hillsboro residents then, or would you do a bill credit?
Or you could do Hillsboro resident, and if a non-Hillsboro resident does it, then you can, or non-utility person. Say 250, 500 for a non-utility person, and 500, and 1,000 a utility person. It's up to you guys, I'm just throwing out numbers. $2,000 off your electrical or water bill if you could incentivize.
I'm all for that too. I don't know if I'd go over two, but I would go up to it, just because we're looking for somebody, and yes, that's gonna cost us, but if we could find somebody, the thing is, it doesn't cost us anything if we don't get anybody, so.
4,000 is cheaper than 25,000.
Right. And I guess I would look at this, we would base this, I think we need to base this on certain, you know, like right now we have it on lineman and then the superintendent. I don't think we would have it on, you know, I guess you can, if you want to put it on a pool manager or all the other openings we have, you could put it on there, but it seems like those are the two we're really having a big issue trying to track down right now, is those two jobs, so.
You could say any position that's been open for more than a month.
We're gonna give it a
Without
little more than a
applicants.
month. I think I'd give it a little more than a month. That should
Well, I'm
be
just-
just kind of, yeah, I understand, that's why I'm saying that, so, I don't know, what do you guys think?
I think it's hard to pay anything over the homeless, so
what was that, Dave?
I just, be paying money out to, you know, it's a whole new deal to me. I've never seen this before, so.
Not
But if you can get candidates, I guess it's not a bad thing, it just seems,
Well, it would be a
pretty
pay
common.
if
I think it's
the
pretty
person
common.
was employed.
You'd only get
right?
it if they were employed.
right.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be every person referred, it would just be the one
Just do the one.
that got
Yep.
hired.
You don't need to move on anything tonight, because I'll work with JR and we'll draft something up for next meeting. But is the 2,000 where you want to be, or is it 1,500? We just need to know some parameters so we can put it in. You want it separate or?
I kind of like what's written up there, except I don't know if I agree with the 250, at hire, because then you get hired, you take the 250, you get 250 and they leave right away. So I like the 6 month and then year's a good time. Or split it into two instead
So
of
do maybe
three.
3, 6, and 1 year, like 3, 6, and 12 maybe?
Yeah, something like,
I like how it's laid out too, but I would say maybe 3 months, 6 months, 1 year.
yeah.
Well, the next payroll would be their first payroll, which would be a month.
It'd be a month, yeah.
So it'd be 1, 6 in a year.
Well, you could do 3, 6 in a year, like you said, too.
Right, or
After
you
3
could-
months, you kind of have a good idea whether they're going
Right.
to work or not.
Because that's kind of,
Yeah.
We just need to know the parameters so that we can try to draft it for you.
I would be okay with the 3 and 6.
3, 6, and 12. And then the amount, do you have a preference?
I kind of like the amounts listed, but I don't know if that's going to be enough to help a lot,
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's going to make anybody,
I mean, to me, 1,000 would be, make me try to think of people, but
Yep.
Or would you say 250, 500 and 500?
meet you in the middle a little ways, I guess.
Or 250, 500 and 750? I don't know, I'm just throwing out ideas, so that's 1,500. Guess if you don't get anybody, you can always raise it.
Could always raise it, yeah. I don't know, I guess I'd be okay starting with 1,000, it's just a matter of adjusting. You did the 250 and then 3 and 250 at 6, and then the
Okay.
500, let's start there unless somebody.
start with
thinks that
1,000?
This is gonna move it.
Okay. And is it for anybody? Just
say
resident?
any or are you asking for positions or?
No,
I think it's like
make a referral.
employee and
If somebody from
residents
Fargo
or-
said, hey, I got somebody for you, they'd be able to book work.
Then you
Or do you
pay
wanna
that
do-
out, right?
Right, so do you want to do 1,000 for anybody or 1,500 for residents?
If you don't go out of the Hillsboro, you're not gonna get anybody anyway. So,
No, we're talking people.
Yeah.
Not employees, we're talking.
yep, that's
people
what
employees.
I'm saying. If you just limited it to Hillsboro.
I'm just thinking that if you incentivize for the residents.
I guess when I originally thought of it, it was the residents that I was thinking of. It would be something to help get the Hillsborough residents to be part of the process, so to speak. So, but it's not gonna change my mind one way or another, but that was my first initial thought of the residents.
Do you want to start with just for residents?
I'd be okay with that.
Maybe we'll draft one, JR, with both, just in case.
And then going back to which employees, I don't know.
So obviously,
A full-time employee, maybe, that's, like you said, I don't know if a month is enough time to give it out there or not. I think they'll probably go a little longer on that.
well, and you don't have to, the policy could be just when the commission decides that we're going to use this as a
Right.
tool.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be all the time.
Well, I didn't know if you wanted to do that, so.
We could look at it. We could just say when the commission,
When the commission,
what
yeah.
commission approves to
Mhm.
instate it.
I'm fine with that.
And hiring supervisors along with commissioners would be out. Anybody else would be in. Anything else on that? All right.
Sounds good.
We'll work on that. Next is the pool grant. So in that, I just need direction how you guys want to move forward. If you want to move forward and try to get somebody in to get it done, we have that money until the end of '25. It's 150, just shy of 150,000, and it's a match, so we would put in 150, they match up to that amount, and it's just shy of 150.
How was things last,
Oh, go ahead.
how was things last year? We're not leaking, I know as much, but.
We're not leaking as much, but it's also not.
And the kiddie pool wasn't open because of lifeguards, or is that ready to be open? or?
Kiddie pool needs to get flushed out, what we would. So, there was still mud and junk left in there from previous years, and so if we flushed it, it would put all that muck back into the system, which the last time we did it, if you remember last year, we ended up draining it and refilling it to get it clean. So that was the afraid, that if we did that, we were gonna shut it down for another 2 weeks.
And what all could the grant be used for? Was there any specifics?
It's for the piping and outdoor part of it, and there's also to replace the slide, and all the inlets and outlets, and the ballast tank. So all new piping around into the pump house, inlets, outlets around the pool, new ballast tank, and then putting more valves in so that we can shut off and isolate it a little bit better.
And how much of that stuff if you can get done for what price? Won't know till you bid it.
We don't know until we get it. So we've worked with AE2F to help with that process of it. They're the ones that had put it all together for us.
I hear from residents both ways. Some people say get it fixed up to use a little bit, and some people say don't put any more money in it. So it doesn't really help me from that standpoint, because we have both parks looking at it, so.
Yep, that's what I got too, about the same.
So, because we're looking at the new pool, that's not a gimme, that's gonna be a lot of work to do that, and you're still, even if the timeline went well, you'd still be looking at 3 years, so, if we did nothing with the pool now, would it be usable for 3 years? You know better than I would, you don't anymore.
I can't say. The reason we're looking at new piping is when we looked, we couldn't camera all of the pipes, but the main lines are running and what's butting up against them is shifting. So there's our issue, is that we're not sure if those seals came loose. There's a possibility, when we had somebody come in and talked about there was some bad PVC glue that was used that's causing this. So it's hard to tell. I don't know. Sometimes you're using lots of water, sometimes you don't. And sometimes it's based on water level around the river, so.
You guys heard?
I haven't heard anything. It sounds like we have a list of identified what it needs, but I would be curious on the cost and timeline of completion, because we wait until 2025, that's another year gone, that we don't know if we do it or not.
We've already
What
pushed
comes or
off.
doesn't, you know what I mean? If you don't do it, you don't do it at all.
How would we even be able to get a contractor to do anything this summer?
What's the problem is, you gotta get a plan for them to bid.
Right. So it's like, can it be done? So how much? What's the timeline?
And you can do up to what we had proposed and give them what we can get done. No. We can always open it up this year and get it done this fall, hopefully, or early spring. This year would have been a good year to do it in the spring.
Can they get, the engineers get a list of things that need to be done, or who?
The list is already done.
Huh?
The list is already done.
So they can just use that to bid on? And what happens if we bid it?
We can
We're not
always
stuck
throw,
with it, are we?
we're not stuck with it. We can always throw out bids or rebid.
I guess I don't see a problem with bidding it, I guess, otherwise we're not gonna know where we're at. You know, if we get bids back and it's $500,000 to do everything, which kind of answers our question there, so.
Is that a motion to open up the bid?
Yep.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Moved by Paul, seconded by Dave to open up bids. And I'll work with Steve and work on the bidding process. Is there any other discussion? Paul?
Yes.
Nicole?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
And a yes for me. Motion carried. Next is the policy on vacation time.
Yep, the subject was asked to be put on tonight's agenda, from the last meeting. Currently, the policy states that employees can carry over 120 hours, from December into January of the new year. From what I understand in discussions with Public Works, the commission allows until April 1st to put in writing a request to have additional hours paid out that they didn't use the year previous because of large snowstorms and big public work projects. Right now, in enforcing the policy, it is on the calendar to inform all employees what their vacation hours are as of November 1st of each year. So if they know that they're going to be accruing, you know, a certain number of hours, or if they haven't used enough throughout the current year, they have a short while to get them done, or excuse me, to get them used. And if they don't, they do need to submit in writing to the commission a request to have the additional paid out per policy. Is there anything that you guys would like changed in that policy? It wasn't enforced in years past. And if you guys remember my interview, I appreciate policy, so.
And I think part of what the conundrum got into it was that we allowed comp time, but the comp time wasn't enforced. So it was, what it's supposed to be, you could comp your time, but policy says you're supposed to come to the commission for approval to get it as comp time. So if we had a big snowstorm, so that you worked 80 hours and you wanted to save up for a vacation, say to go to Disneyland, but you didn't have quite enough, you could use that comp time to, or if you want to go take it off for beet harvest and take off extra time. That was the intent of it, so that if somebody worked through a big snowstorm or another event, they could take their time off that was due and not necessarily just get paid out. But somehow there was that delay in approval. Yes?
I don't think there's anything currently in an employee handbook about comp time.
I don't think there is either.
So if you want using that company, I'll probably use it after that.
But there was.
I didn't listen. And there's nothing in there about how much can be included in the contract as well.
Right, because it had to come,
I guess my question is the Department of Labor rules different for city government versus private? for public entities, I guess. Because I know there's like rules about exemptions, like if you're an exempt employee, it counts off this, but then you don't. It's like different. Like I know the Department of Labor has changed some rules over the last few years. But I don't know what they are at this current time. But I know there's like, what makes you exempt at what threshold and.
But we should highly suggest that they, if they can use their vacation, because that's what vacation is for, you know. I realize if we have a series of snowstorms and water breaks, and, you know, it gets to be an issue, but.
Well, we are talking a whole year. You know, we can't be busy unless we're understaffed. We shouldn't be busy that whole year. Is there any problems with the way it's worded right now in the handbook? If we can't follow it?
No,
Like,
it
seems
just
pretty
needs to be
simple.
enforced.
No.
I was gonna say, I think the thing is, it just hasn't been enforced, right?
That's correct.
I think that's all we need to do is enforce it.
That was part of the reason that I voted no last meeting when we voted on paying that stuff out, is I felt there was more information that would have been good to know.
Do we have to give more than, do we have to let them know, kind of give them a little update, you know, maybe in September, or, you know, give them a little bit of time, because November 1st doesn't give them a lot of time to plan to use it up, and we kind of give them a little heads up that, hey, you know, you're sitting at, you know, here at the end of July here, and you've got all this, you know, is that a problem to do, or is that easy enough to do?
That's easy enough to do. In addition to giving a heads up towards the end of the year, all employees are given their vacation and sick leave banks with every payroll. So we always know where we sit. So it's right at the bottom of our pay stub. So, but we can push it back to September 1st.
Well, I'm just saying, I don't know how it is, it's just more of a, you know, so that they're aware of it.
Yeah, if it's on the check stubs,
Right.
they should be able to.
Just basically right now, making them aware of the fact that this is gonna be enforced.
Here's where it is. It's under overtime, where it says employees classified as an exempt may be eligible to receive overtime monetary or time compensation for the commission, with the commissioner's approval. The employees are not considered to be on a standard 40-hour work week, as our other city employees are expected to work if it is reasonably necessary to fulfill their job duties. So that's where they were banking their time. Some were banking it on their own without the commission approval.
Is
They
that
just-
specifically comp time?
I guess it's called comp time. You could call it comp time, but it'd be anything. It's any overtime.
Do you want to put it as a max that they can approve for pay period of comp time?
Well, it'd have to come to the commission for approval that they consider.
That changes.
Because I don't think they want it to
That's
be
what I'm
like,
getting at.
the intent when it was put in was so that if somebody, we had an event and we had somebody put in 120 hours of overtime in a pay period, they wanted to take it off later instead of getting paid, which we would allow that. Not just necessarily that, yes, I'm going to say this is, I'm not going to take this as pay. So if, and it's supposed to be that they would submit it, so if they don't submit it, then it would be paid out.
Completely different than what I was told in the, so obviously it's not been followed.
Right.
at all.
Because we didn't want somebody to bank up a ton of hours that were just there without,
I think we enforce it the way it's in the policy now. If it didn't come November, when we review the policy manual, we can make changes if we feel it's necessary. Does that sound right?
Yep.
I agree with Paul.
okay. I think, Jason, as far as like paying it out, that was, okay, we found a mistake, let's fix it and move forward, is what I had seen it as, not.
Yeah, and I didn't know what was going on, so that's why I said my vote now would have been different, knowing what I was trying to figure out.
Yep. That makes sense, so nothing that we have to worry about that. All right. Next item is the Brian and Allison Wisney email that everybody received. Does anybody have anything they'd like to talk about on it? Or how would they like to proceed?
How did we get to this point?
What do you mean by that, Dave?
Just what I'm reading in the letter is so Bill Block, how much is Bill Block paid on, or how much did he pay the city?
He has paid,
24,000 on the table.
$24,630.55.
And how much did he owe?
Double that.
And we're gonna go after him for the rest of it?
So if you remember, we, in our August meeting, we approved to put it on as a tax lien.
The way I look at it, he's requesting the city commission vote to remove the lien special assessment on all parcels and pursue William Block. From my view on that, I'd like to hear why he feels that way. That's where I'm at. Is there something that we did wrong, or?
I don't know, I put this email out, I don't know what date, I believe it was in January,
February 3rd.
February. I was told that it would be discussed at the next meeting.
No.
It came
No.
down forward
Well,
multiple times, and then you unofficially, on the meeting, which I watched, requested that we be present. You never formally requested that we be here to discuss this. So I'm pretty sure this is your discussion back right now, not a conversation back and forth.
Well, with that being said, I don't see why we would pay that. You know, if we didn't do anything wrong on how we did it.
Because I think it's the dates and the timeline, August 7th, lien, and it was still under that current ownership of William Block at that time.
Yeah, I don't know, I'm just saying, that's why I'm asking, is there something that we did wrong in this process?
I think so.
JR, is there?
Don't they have to disclose if there's a lien against it at the sale?
I believe so. Is that correct? JR?
Some purchase agreement.
That'd be with the closing company, or whatever we do with that.
It had not been certified at the time, so it wasn't gone in effect as here. But this would also apply to a parcel that receives no city utilities or services. It was divided equally amongst the 5 parcels. It had nothing to do with sewer connections, garbages. If you look at the utility bill, it's based off of 26. And if you look at the personal property taxes that the county sends out for revenue for their dwellings, that's easily a penny, so it's kind of probably put together, the way you put a lien on something that receives no utilities, but that would be under election utilities and services, 7.0102 is what they are sent.
That's a question for JR. I don't know what we did differently, so. I guess I would have assumed that the county would have said if we did something wrong, or don't they?
No, the county says that it's whoever is certifying it, which would be the city. The county tries to take a hands-off approach because you're the one verifying, not them.
Well, wouldn't it have been put on the other 4 parcels then?
Correct.
You voted for that. You voted for the more of the person, so you should know.
You have an email.
Yeah, I understand that. What I'm saying is, if we would have put it on the 4 parcels, it would have still been the same dollar amount.
Correct. It would have been an accurate execution of the municipal code. But it sounds like your attorney's not telling you if it's the way you want it, or if they think there's something inaccurately done. You ask them, and they respond.
My response is, we know everything to the book. We certified it against the land owned by the person who did not pay. We certified against those parcels. I agree with Paul's comment. Whether we did 4 out of 5 parcels or just all 5, it's still the same county.
Lots, tracts, and parcels receiving such utility or service. I got a lien on a parcel that receives no utilities or services.
Would you like us to transfer that dollar amount owed on that parcel to another parcel
But
then?
you have to do it in another calendar year and certify it, or you can just do it whenever you want.
Probably would have to certify it here, but it doesn't change the amount.
Exactly. So I mean, are you in the business of putting liens on property that have no services on them or are owned by somebody else? It's a little loose. Has this ever been done before? Have you put a utility lien on a property prior to this calendar year?
I don't think we've had any issues that I've been here, except with, I've only been here for a couple of years, so. And we've been doing different ways to collect this in the 2 years that I've been here. And this is what was brought up as a way to do it, and that's why we did it, because we were having no luck with other procedures.
I don't know, is that an or yet?
I couldn't tell you if it's the first time. You'd have to ask.
Is John Wilson here in official capacity? No. Or did he retire? Oh, who's that?
I couldn't tell you if they were, Dave would have a better shot at me than me. He's been here longer than I have, so.
I don't remember, we made many attempts with Bill Block.
Right, so we mentioned that too.
I made one and I got
Yeah, we made
24,000.
one and we bought the trailer park and we've been, trying to bring it around, do some improvements, do some things, and you guys got the payment. Are you happy about that? Or, because it took us not 10 plus years to get a payment from them. And how many attorney fees have you guys collected from that? Trying to pursue million bucks.
Did you know of the bill that was due? When you bought?
Not on our, when we took over the trailer park, our utilities was at 0.
So we got a fresh
We got a fresh
account from
account.
the city hall. And the city hall started an account for us.
Did Bill Block disclose to you that there was money owed, or did he say that he was going to take care of it?
He said he would take care of it. It's in the purchase agreement, which I tried to bring to the city attorney. At your direction, you basically left me out of the job.
Which
I
is
could
also in
spend
the
more
email.
money fighting this than just paying the bill.
Do you have a title insurance that would cover this?
Why is that your concern?
because it's not, if Bill said in the agreement that he was gonna pay for it, it should be his,
That would be an agreement between you and Bill.
not an agreement between him and us.
Right.
Did you say on a phone call as commission president that you would pursue us for the utility bill?
The regular information on the,
I said, we would, our intent is not to sue you, we would hope that Bill would pay for it. And when we put the lien on, it was not against you as an owner, it was put on against Bill Block and Hillsboro Properties.
Right, so you should pursue him since you put it on for him. Would be our request. That's what we requested at the end of the email. And that's what we wanted to do.
But if you and Bill made an agreement that he was gonna take care of it, that would be another agreement between you and Bill.
Right, we wanted you guys to discuss this. We didn't want to be a part of your discussion on it, and we were never formally told to come to a meeting. And then every meeting we watched, it was said, oh, Whitney's not here. So now we showed up. We didn't want to have this conversation. We wanted to put it all out on an email, so you guys had all the information you needed. You guys could discuss it. And we
it's a pretty shoddy execution of parliamentary procedure. Really.
No, I don't see what we did wrong, so I'll stand with Paul.
Any other commissioners have any other comments? Is there a motion on to either accept or reject the letter? Accept that we would forgive this, or a motion to keep as is?
So how much do you guys, how much is this gonna cost you?
What do you,
As far as you, I'd like, let's get it clarified for me, because are they responsible for what the rest of what Bill Block owes?
correct. That's what you guys put as a lien on our property taxes.
But the balance that changed, that's just a certified. So-
Right, so we owe the full 46,000 still on our property taxes. It hasn't been changed.
But I can't access his utility,
Right, we can't access his account
information.
because we don't know any of those numbers.
and I didn't know it, and I didn't purchase it, so I'm not privy to the information.
Which we realized there was an error on getting it certified over once Bill made the payment, which is being remedied on the bill that's being, or the check that's being sent to the treasurer today.
To give you, don't mind me, just gonna throw some numbers there. The bill that was certified in August was $41,243.97 altogether. The check Bill Block gave to the city was $24,630.55. After talking with the county, they would like a check cut to them to get it off of their books. They'll send it back to us. The balance on the certified amount is $16,613.42.
So that's all we're asking them to do right now. Well below 50% collected more than that. We didn't pay a collection fee, which we discussed multiple times. We didn't have an attorney at the sewer, which would cost you over $5,000.
If I may, Melissa Beach, live at 603 Fifth Avenue, so a local resident. Just wanted to weigh in on this a little bit. I've been following this issue in the newspaper for many years, probably one of the days I've been sitting here, right? The collections. It's bothered me for a long time that it wasn't collected properly. But the question that I have tonight is, was the policy for disconnect followed? That would be question number one. And then the second was, I remember reading about another commercial utility bill in the newspaper that was not billed appropriately maybe, and was written off. And that was done so in kind of understanding that maybe the proper steps weren't followed on behalf of the city, and also not wanting to, frustrate a business. And I think this is a similar situation. These folks have multiple businesses in town, and one relative of theirs, and just simply in the business of supporting communities and businesses locally. So my request would be that we write this portion off. I think I've watched it for 10 plus years with no block not be collected, and understand the reason for not always shutting it off is because we didn't want to impact, the folks in the trailer court as well. But it's a difficult decision to shut anybody's utilities off, but that's the question, I guess, is was it properly disconnected as is with the policy?
And this goes back a long ways, so I couldn't tell you how it all done before, and obviously, as you can see on some things, policy hasn't been followed. It's something we're looking at correcting. So, I don't know, I guess it really is, it's in, I hate to put JR on the spot, but I guess it's really in where his thoughts are. If we did something wrong, I could definitely see the other one, that sounds like the fifth property, didn't have utilities, I would be in support of removing that, if you'd like. I would probably entertain splitting it. I don't think I would entertain the whole works. I think that, unless JR can tell us that we did something wrong, I don't.
I think the missteps were years ago, Paul. I'm not saying it's this commission by any means, but I think the missteps were that it wasn't collected before it got to $40,000.
And it wasn't, and I don't think it, for them either, it was something that was new, it was uncharted territory, and they really didn't know, how to do that, so. But, to me, it's a learning thing that, the reality is we've already put steps in place so something like this doesn't happen again, so.
And that's what's important, is learning from it, right? Are we willing to cut our losses of $16,000? Because we have folks that are very heavily investing in the community through many other business opportunities and real property. That's what I struggle with. As an economic developer, I see communities that don't have folks investing because they're ticked off about things that have happened in the past. So to me, it's little to nothing to cut our losses, even though $16,000 is a lot of money. Thank you. Appreciate the question.
I agree with her. I've been thinking about this for a while, and yeah, we've been fighting with Bill Block, and Brian, and they've come into town and they've done a lot of good things. Got the trailer court, fixing the trailer court up, and fixing some of this older property. They got a daycare in town, and I would just like to see it forgiven. Just be done with it. How much more are we going to spend? Finish this subject, or let's just get rid of it.
So why'd we even put it on the tax thing then?
That's my opinion.
I think it should have been caught somewhere else. I don't know where the fault lies. We certified it, we did the procedures that we were supposed to. If Bill didn't disclose it, I assume that there is title insurance that would cover that bill.
Or they would have to sue Bill too.
But if that came to where it wouldn't work, then
Title insurance policy doesn't cover it because of the way that it was uncertified at the time. That's the answer to that question. Considered special, not open. The way that it was done, it wasn't recorded against the property on the tax roll. I can send that email on. If you want to go through the board.
I would like to see that. I think if that were the case, then possibly I would make a decision as to forgive it, but I think all avenues need to be explored before letting something go that Bill Block owns on. Because ultimately, he was the person that did this. And that's when I told you, it's that it's Bill Block. Didn't expect to come after all of you, but this is the procedure that we have to do it. And I assumed it would have gotten caught in the title insurance and everywhere else, just like anybody else would have had. Yes.
I'll just have a general question. I didn't hear the last meeting, but is there no other recourse for Bill Block now? Nothing else that's possible to try to collect those dollars?
No.
Not in the city, so.
No, that's what the city group does. Right. I think part of the, like Melissa, just to kind of piggyback on what she said, there's a lesson to be learned with following procedure and whatnot, but, you know, I'd be willing to bet that we probably don't have to worry about ways into game with utility bills. And they have invested a lot of money in the community and still continue to look for opportunities to try to make that community better. So, I don't think this is going to be an issue for them. There's going to be an outstanding utility bill that the commission is talking about in the future. And it's going to be some money under that. Just seems like there should be another option to collect the money from you rent out the bill and pay it. And let them continue to invest in the community and try to make this good.
And I would assume, you know, when I bought a house, I had to make sure that the property, all the bills were paid ahead of time. That's what I assumed was going to happen.
I think Brian mentioned that there's, you know, the title insurance doesn't cover those.
Eli, quick question.
Yeah.
Hey, Jim, I know you don't know. Every business I've ever run, I've been a part of, we always have a line item for bad debt. Right? When something goes bad, turn it over to collections and consider it uncollectible. Is there an option for Bill Block? I mean, he's the boogeyman, right? We got that part down. Send him to collection. Maybe he tries to rent a couch, he ends up having to pay that. You heard me say that. Rent a couch. You can't rent a couch, they have to pay that bill.
Is that an option?
We could still do it, collections could still sue. The reason we didn't do it is we didn't want to lose out. Collections cost money, lawsuits cost money. This was the cheap, guaranteed way to get paid.
Just think he gets paid by the wrong person. Unfortunately, that's just my perspective. I realize that.
You also have to remember that when this was put on, we had no clue that the property was being changed. And when I called Brian, that was the first time I knew or had and let you know that there was an issue, that we had did this, to make sure that it was cleared up. That was the reason for the phone call.
Well, and you talk about you know, the person responsible paying for it. Well, if you have a purchase agreement, wouldn't you have a right to go after them for that, or not?
Yeah, it'll cost $50,000 or at least $25 to go to litigation or something. Now, it'd take longer than to get the next year certified, even get it court date.
Just one more thing, this was Kim's talking, so, are we talking 16,000 or 32,000, what's the math there?
16, 6, 13, 42.
On the
We're gonna
cert.
put more than that in that trailer park, and I ask if you're any help doing it. Yeah, but I'm just thinking specifically of that, you know, and I get that over time this should wash with the improved values and I don't know if that's true, I don't know when we do the tax equalization stuff. I'm sure I don't have someone to say that. That's what they do. That's what they gave us play, you know?
We don't have any real estate tax five-year breaks on them, but whatever.
Feel screwed, yeah.
Can you recommend 16 public employees?
I could recommend that ad could be changed instead of for a dollar amount be given people, but we ask the community members to reach out to anybody they know that might be a qualified applicant. Might split the ground.
I think everybody's trying to do the right thing. You know, I'm not trying to pick a side against the city or, I just think they're trying to do the right thing, invest in the community and make it better, and I realize you guys got a job to do to try to collect these things.
I mean, I don't really have a dog in this fight because I'm kind of new and I've heard about this whole bill for a while. And I don't have any doubts that they would pay their utility bills. That's not my issue. My issue is what if this happens again and it's, well, you did it for them, we can't do it for us. And it's like a tit for tat kind of thing that always kind of rolls and goes. But I'm, like Casey, I'm a policy person, so I don't feel like we did anything out of the policy.
Have you read the?
But the purchase agreement is where, you know, where I have the issue. The purchase agreement was signed, and so it's like, it's a contractual agreement. But that's all I know. I don't know any more than that. Like I said, I don't have a big dog in this fight.
Great, have you, I'm just asking, this is about policy, have you read the policy specifically?
Specific to liens,
Yeah, collection of utilities, so.
not a collection of utilities, no. I'm just not that kind of I'm the purchase agreement was signed kind of thing, so.
Right, I'm going off of your policy, that if the policy is.
Yeah,
all
like I said,
key in
I don't.
the first place, that this should never happen.
Well, and that's why I said I don't really have a dog in the fight, because I'm new. I didn't go that far back. I just here today.
Ultimately, you guys have to either decide if we're going to move forward and forgive this, or if you're going to pursue other options against Bill.
Can you make a second on this, to approve it?
There was no motion.
No, to go to the special session. Commissioner,
What's that?
can you vote on this, going to?
On the 7th, yes, because I knew it was still under William Block. I didn't know you guys purchased the property at the end of the month.
I see all sides of this. I really do. I respect everybody out there that's made their comments. And, you know, I do agree with Nicole that, yeah, you set this precedence, and I guess it's not really a precedence, but I also feel that because of this, this never happens again, obviously. So, you know, so it doesn't. I guess my thing would be is what other people want to say, as far as, yeah, you let them do it, you know, but I also understand the economic development side of it completely. I guess I can make a motion that we forgive it if we get a second.
I'll second it.
Probably moved and seconded that we forgive the tax lien on the Borough Manufacturing Community LLC property. Moved by Dave, or moved by Paul, seconded by Dave. Is there any other discussion?
Can you make it all the parcels of package, or there was an alteration for lot line?
I guess I'm looking at the 16,000 here, which is not on here. Does that make sense?
Okay, yep, that makes sense.
I just make one point of clarity, is I wouldn't use the term forgive, I would say you would release that property.
Release that property?
Because then we did have the opportunity to take after the lot, we were setting out, we still would do so. In fact, I would say the second motion, if this is the route, that we turn it over to collections and see if there's any chance.
Just clarify the motion, Paul.
Well, whatever you said.
You would like to
Just
release the lien.
Release the lien. On them, okay.
Yeah, because they need to start.
So the motion is to release the 6 properties, 7 properties. From the lien for utilities, for the utility lien. Is that correct? Is there any other discussion?
My perspective is at best we offer half, because obviously there was a mistake made in the city. They made a mistake as well. They were given the information of what the dollar amount owed was gonna be, and they're trying to collect, and the guy promised him they were gonna pay him. So, to me, it's no different than if, and I understand the business, and I know they've done a lot for the community, bringing stuff in, and I have no beef with them in any way, shape, or form. But if I go out and I purchase a property and it says that I owe this in it, am I gonna come to the city, whoever I bought it from, and get forgiveness, or gonna say you went out and bought it that way? And that's where I'm torn, but I do understand that it is a perspective and something that was well before a lot of our times, but I couldn't see doing any more than half. So that's my discussion on that.
That's probably where I struggle the most, is the fact that they knew about it. They knew that the utility bill was there. And that's where I struggle. If they would have known anything about it, or if it was a matter of the lien crossing and didn't get posted, you know, they never knew anything about it, and then just all of a sudden this popped up, you know, that's the one area that kind of bothers me, is that they were aware of it, and they're very smart people, so it's, you know, it's not like it's the first time they've done something like this, and that's the one area that I struggle with a little bit. It's because they're very smart individuals, and I find it hard to believe that they wouldn't have held that back on the purchase. But I don't know, I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know the logistics on it, so.
Any other discussion? Paul?
Yes.
Jason?
No.
Dave?
Yes.
Nicole?
No.
And a no for me. Motion fails. Would anybody like to make another motion? Offer to forgive half.
How would you do that then? How would you want, that would be, so you're just making a motion to get forgive, did not forgive, because then
Release half, sorry.
Release half of it.
So then we'd go after William Block for the other half?
Basically. You go after the public health still. It's so identical with IDEM. It's just we're giving up our security. So basically, you could ask the collections to take it on. Right now, because he sold, because he had the assets in North Dakota that I know of, should be a very hard debt to collect, if not impossible.
Yeah.
And we could give it back if it was received from Bill Block.
I want to see something done for these people, so I'm going to make the motion. If we're going to think about giving them at least half, I'll make the motion.
The motion to release, offer to release half.
I'll second that.
Moved by Dave, seconded by Paul. Is there any other discussion?
So there's late fees on this. Could we do the half, but then take the late fees off of their half? So they're actually paying less than half of that because the late fees are part of that?
If you would like to amend the motion that way.
Would that be feasible?
That's fine.
That would be you know, his half is, you know, 8,306, but if it's to take off the late fees, because I don't think they should have late fees for that. So that would be,
So would you like to amend by adding, remove the late fees?
yeah, remove the late fees off, or release half of the late fees off of their half.
Okay. Is there a second?
What does that come to? Just for my own notes. I'll second it.
So my math comes out to 4,391.69.
19.
That's what they would owe.
The
Or
late,
the fees are without.
without the late fees, it'd be the 43.91. Yep, 43.91. And that was from late fees that had accrued for quite
From
a
the beginning
while.
of time.
Moved by Nicole, seconded by Paul, to amend by adding remove to forgive the late fees. Or release the late fees.
Well, I made the motion to do half. She amended it.
So we'll take a vote on the amendment first. Is there any discussion? Paul?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Nicole?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
And a yes for me. Amendment carries. We'll now take a vote, or if there's any other discussion on the main motion, that would now state that they would be released from half of, would be released and they would be half minus the late fees. Is there any other discussion? Jason?
Yes.
Nicole?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Paul?
Yes.
And a yes for me. Motion carries.
And how do we present that how do they get notification of that?
I would assume best would be official notification
By letter.
by
yeah.
letter.
Okay.
I'm sure Casey can do that, talk to Ken.
I'll get you a copy of the letter once it's finished tomorrow.
Okay, to clarify, we're gonna pay that amount, whatever it comes up to minus the late fee, and the property will be released, and the remaining balance will be pursued separately.
Right.
So the whole current balance will be released off the property.
Correct.
And then are you gonna pursue
We would-
the walk for the full amount so that we could get reimbursed if you do it?
If there's a motion for that, which I was going to ask for. Is there a motion to pursue building block
I'll
program?
make the motion.
I'll second.
Moved by Dave, seconded by Nicole to pursue William Block for the full amount. And if we do recover, it would be split proportionately, whatever we receive. With Borough Manufacturing Community LLC. Is there any other discussion? Paul?
Well, I was just curious how you're going to go about doing that. You tried to do that for how long?
My suggestion would be we turn it over to collections and then collection agency do it.
Would somebody like to amend by adding that in? Or we can have separate motions, whichever you prefer.
I'll make a motion with that added in.
So amend by adding? Correct. Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Paul, moved by Jason to amend by adding and sending him to collections. Is there any discussion? Dave?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
Paul?
Yes.
Nicole?
Yes.
And a yes for me. Motion carries. Amendment carries. Well, now, is there any further discussion on the main motion? It says that we will go after Bill Block via collections and then split any proceeds with Borough Manufacturing Community LLC. Any other discussion? Paul?
Yes.
Nicole?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
And a yes for me. Motion carries. Anything else under this line item? Otherwise, I'll move on to new business. Okay. The next item is Greenway.
Greenway got a hold of the city office and they wanted to know if the city would like to hire them again for weed spraying, I believe. Yes, if you would like to have them spray again, Railroad Park and the cemetery. It appears they've done it in the past. They would just like a yes or a no.
Have you ever reached out for bids on that? Because I know who's it that's in Mayville that does it, they're at the courthouse and other places. Have you seen them? Who's it?
Jacobson.
Jacobson. Want to ask them if they'd be interested in it or get it, on it, or?
Is that what the commission would like?
If that's what you like, that's what we can do.
Yeah, I think we should do that.
Okay.
I'll make a motion for the,
Put the spray.
put out, yep, put spraying out to bids.
Would you like all properties included on that? Or just
Whatever we've been doing, you got the
On the
buildings,
cemetery.
in the cemetery, you want to do all the
Railroad
properties?
Park and Cemetery, right? That's what you
Right.
got.
It's just park and
That,
cemetery.
that's what was mentioned in the phone call note, Railroad Park and the cemetery.
I just know we have some areas that maybe we should.
I think it should be all properties, if we're not capable of doing it, you know, I don't know who does it on the city side, I don't know if the city employees do that or not. I've never seen them.
Sometimes they do, depending on who has been licensed or not. Yes.
Behind City Hall is like a weed fest.
I think you could expand on that.
'Cause we have-
I think there's more areas than just city hall.
I know that some of them,
It's your flower garden.
I know some of the employees have certification, I don't know if they all do, because it is a commercial pesticide license they have to get in order to do it.
You could probably add the fire hall onto that property too.
So,
Who made the motion? I did.
Paul, is there a second?
Second that.
Moved by Paul, second by Nicole, to have bid out for all city property.
But before you guys vote on it, when would you like bids to be handed in?
Give them a
May
couple of
1st
weeks,
meeting.
is that enough?
I heard May 1st, what'd you say?
Well, I think we want them first, huh?
Well, whenever, before the May 1st meeting, I assume you wouldn't.
But my question might, in addition on that, is that give a company like that time to do that? I don't know how long it takes to put something together, that's a pretty big, but people in that business, they can just look at it and they can tell you.
Well, that's 5 weeks, because our first meeting in May is on the 6th.
So could it be like 4:30 or 4, May 6th, and then open bids on the night of the 6th?
Or you could say on the 3rd, it's that Friday.
That'd be fine too, I think. Yeah.
4:30 on the 3rd?
Sure.
Okay. Is there any further discussion? Dave?
Yeah.
Nicole?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
Paul?
Yes.
And a yes for me. City cleanup week is our next item. We want to set a date.
When has it usually been done?
Usually it's just the first part of May.
First part of May?
Sixth. The week of the 6th.
Everything must be on the boulevard by Sunday night.
Sunday night?
That's usually how they do it, I think. So whatever day that is.
It's the 5th.
Yep.
Somebody like to make a motion for that?
Make a motion.
Cole makes a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Jason. Is there any other discussion?
Might want to, just to make sure, make sure that's okay with the crew, that there's not people gone to schooling or anything like that we don't know of.
We can double check with it before we run the ads.
Right, yeah, just to make sure that, that I'd hate to do cleanup and then, nobody's around to pick it up. Because it might be, and then because I think it plays into that some too, I think, is Because when they get their summer help starting, too, that helps them a lot if they're around. So the week delay helps them.
Are you okay with that
If Jim's okay with it and he has the staffing, I don't have a problem with it.
but if they need to delay the week, do you want to come back to the meeting, or are you okay with us making the decision?
I think I'm okay with you making the decision, and I can amend that if you want me to, but I don't have any.
As long as that's kind of okay with everybody?
I wouldn't delay it any past that.
So either the week of the 6th or the 13th. Nicole?
Yes.
Paul?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
And a yes for me. Motion carries. Does anybody else have any items? Any audience members or citizens have anything to address the commission?
Do you guys have any mics working? Is that what those things are, or what?
Yep.
What is in the mic? Those little things? Why is this buzz back here the whole time? Because then you can hear it on the, like, your live event. You can hear the buzz in the background. But it's the whole time.
Turn that
So,
That's supposed to be so that the audience can hear.
It doesn't really come across here.
you don't hear anything back there at all.
Yeah, I just hear you guys like there.
So then,
I can't hear you
Right,
guys.
this just makes like a buzzing noise. or
you're
like
supposed to be
a
able to hear it back there, but I assume when we had somebody using it, it might have gotten
Through the microphone.
You don't have to look at it right now. I think maybe that should be something that you look at like after hours or a different time, but
Right here, you start.
yeah. Because we watch on your live event, so I don't have to be here. So,
Yeah, I don't know, usually we get texts when people can't hear it, and many today.
Paul, I think I can always hear you.
No.
But everybody else is hard to, so, but then this little noise in the background is really distracting, like on, because I usually.
Yeah, we've been talking about that noise, and we never really, because we're not out there, we don't even hear it. I don't even hear noise over there. Do you hear it, Alvin?
I can hear it over here.
Yeah, see, I don't hear anything, then I'm deaf mechanic.
Sheila said that you can hear, but there's a lot of scratchiness, so I'm wondering if it's probably that.
There was a
I
meeting
can't
about
hear
a month
anyways.
ago, that I didn't finish because there was something more entertaining going on. But I couldn't hear for about the first 10 minutes, then Levi, you went to the cabinet, adjusted a dial, and then the sound quality was vastly improved at that point.
I think the buzzing was still there a little bit.
Part of it is we have people that rent out the facility and then it gets changed and
We did try to play with it prior to the meeting today, but
Can you turn that off to see if the buzzing goes away, or did you? It won't?
I think it's the mixer itself.
The mixer
Something
itself.
where it's transmitting.
I thought it was like an air conditioner or something, or like the air.
That's what somebody said one time too, but I don't ever.
That's when we had that speaker up hanging in the ceiling, we got the air conditioner. Noise.
okay. Is there anything else?
I do have two quick things, if that's okay.
Yep.
Inventory did load for me, so I just wanted to show you guys this real quick. Here's everything that has been put in so far. It's organized by tabs. Your city proper, this includes all of your sanitary sewer lines, water lines, main lines, anything out in the general public, along with the quantity and feet. The only thing that needs to be done is what the cost to replace all of these are. This inventory works double-sided. It works as A, inventory, and B, as a capital improvement plan. So you guys will know when you need to be replacing a lot of these items. Here's your public works inventory. If you see anything in red, that is what I need to double check on. This is in your guys' Teams folder, so you can poke around in it. I still need to update a few more things. Here's the Main Street Community Center. As you can see, a couple reds that need to be located. City Hall, a few more things just need to be found. The old shop is done. Pool inventory needs to be taken, and water plant needs to be taken. But here are all of your buildings, and anything that was on an old insurance schedule, and then all of the vehicles. We need to double check on some of them. Some of them have gone to auction. that were still on old inventory lists. So yeah, so that's where I'm at with that. Once it's completely finished, I'll let you guys know. It should be done by the end of this month, so. So there's that. And then one other thing that I'd like to discuss with you guys prior to leaving, and I'm fine putting it on the next agenda, would be the dissolution of contracts for those who are in the not paying their utility bills. Per ordinance, you guys have a 30-day policy, and that's what we've been enforcing. We just had somebody today who got kicked out of their rental property, not with you guys, it was a different property, but they were on a contract per city policy, that's $1,600, and they were on a contract just to get repaid. They owe their landlord about $3,000, if I remember right, just in rent. So it's something that I will be putting on the agenda to discuss next time, just because it's not good to have anything like that. So this is gonna be another situation that we're gonna have to discuss. How do we collect on that $16,000? What do you guys feel like? Or excuse me, 1,600, not 16 grand. 1,600. Not near as much as this, but still a decent amount of money.
I think we have policy in place so that doesn't happen again, don't we?
You guys, per your ordinance, it's a 30-day policy. That's what we've been enforcing going forward. But when I started, you guys were allowing contracts for anybody who had gone past that 30 days. There were quite a few accounts that had contracts or were given contracts because of those difficulties. It is more like babysitting.
That's because we didn't enforce that policy.
Yeah, it's become more of a babysitting job than it is having the bills paid. So that's something I would like to discuss at the next meeting. So those are the only two extra things I have. Thank you.
Put it on the agenda.
Thank you.
Anything else? Last thing is you guys will be getting an email from me with an evaluation sometime this month before the end of the meeting, or before the next meeting, if you should be willing to fill that out so that we can do a 6-month eval for TC.
It went very fast.
Some
days.
She's probably like, you're telling me.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Meeting is adjourned.
Be a lot less stress. Either way.
I think a lot of people appreciate it. I think there's a lot of people that do much. I think it's a lot of people appreciate it. But also, we do have a recording, and that's how we do it. So,
Yeah.
we push more of that. It's good to have because other things can be used. Our legislator meetings and all that stuff, we can keep it on.
Yep.
Yeah, let's say we had a town hall of some sort, let's say we did just strategic planning. Anybody say yes? That would be good for people to possibly help participate in that.
Yep, I agree. Yeah. We didn't have the clicking earlier today. We got rid of that. What was that? I pushed a lot of different buttons. I have no idea. Sorry, Levi. I put it back. Well, that's what we did. I was on the phone. I called Abby at the office. I was on my cell phone. And I said, okay, how do I sound now? And I tested every single microphone. None of them were any different. So we turned them all off. I turned that off. And I just had these on. And finally, the ticking was a lot less at some point in there. See, and I'm that delayed. There.
It is delayed.
Yeah, I am that delayed. So I'd have to, talk to Abby, and say, okay, how do I sound now? And 10 seconds later, she'd hear me, you know, on the TV screen. Yeah. Sorry, what was that, Paul?
I can hear you.
And the static. Yeah.
One, two, three. You want it right now?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, it stopped and you turned the TV off?
We even pulled the laptop out because we thought maybe the laptop has a microphone and maybe it's just vibrating on the inside. Not a tonight. The guy that come up, or the radio? He introduced himself, I can't remember. Tonight was the first time I'd met him, so he's a nice guy.